element or the head of the HTML. Here you create a file, then you just link to that file in our HTML. For example, let me open my text editor here. For example, I'm creating a CSS file. You save it with an extension of .css. Let me save it on the desktop first. And call it Zoom class.css. I'm continuing with our page that we created last time, which I called Zoom class.html.
Hassan Vodeko. Members, we shall be patient a bit. I think network has put him off. Let us wait for him to rejoin.
Class, sorry, my network is a bit disturbing, but I hope I'm back. I was created a CS file, and I said, we are moving on, or we are going to use our HTML file that we created last time. And in that HTML file, I've created another element for demonstration, which is H1, heading 1. We are using heading 1 for demonstration. So in the CS file, you begin
Hassan,
with.
I request that you share your screen. Your screen is off. You share your screen.
Is doing what?
You have not shared your screen when you rejoined.
Oh, sorry. Hope it's okay now.
Yes, you are visible now.
All right. This is my Zoom class CSS file, and this is the other Zoom class HTML file that we created last time. And this is the element heading 1 that I've included for demonstration. So I will go to my Zoom class.ss file and write H1 save, then put here the properties for H1, like color. We can give it gray. We can give it gray. Then maybe text decoration, and we give it underline. So we save that. Then I will go to my HTML file and put this link. Link rel style sheet type text this. Then here if is where we put our file, the name of our file, which is Zoom class .css. Then we save. If I try to run this, you can check. This is the result. Zoom class for CSS. Let me try to change here the color to, let's say, blue. Blue violet. And we save. Save this. Then when you run this, it changes. Have we got how to use the external, how to use CSS in the external way? The advantage with the external method is you don't have a lot of codes. Like it is a bit organized. You don't have a lot of codes in your HTML file. Here you can have, let's say, if you have a lot of elements in your HTML file, you can take some elements in a different, you can style some elements in a different style sheets. Then you just keep on linking those style sheets. You can have as many as you wish or as you can handle. It helps in organizing the work. Yes, Godfrey, where
You have some question in the chat. Someone wish
Godfrey says, come again.
That's Godfrey. Maybe Hassan, what I'm seeing is that most of us are not using Sublime. And yesterday, what you really talked about was the inline and the
internal.
Internal.
Yes.
Some people might have missed a bit on the external. If you can, I think Godfrey has an issue with the whole external part.
Okay, only external.
Yes, because yesterday you did inline and the internal. Now this is the external.
Yes.
If you can start from the whole external bits to explain, because Godfrey and the other colleagues, I think they have an issue there.
With the external. Okay, let me come again. Let me create a folder. For the essence of clarity, I'm creating a new HTML file very fast. And saving it in our folder. As we know, when you're creating a website, you save all your pages in one folder. Okay. I'm putting there this element that we are going to use. If you run this page, we shall have it. It will be displayed like that. I'm going to create our CS file. I say that for the external, you create the HTML file differently. Then you also create the CSS file differently. Then you link to the CSS file from the HTML file. Now I'm creating Now I'm creating our CSS file for styling this element in this HTML file. And the CSS file, its extension is the .css. Then you save. And here, our element is heading 1. So in the CSS file, you just call heading 1. That is in the case I've not given it a class. So if I give it a class, let's say heading. At this side, I will use dot heading. Then you give it the properties like color, blue, text align, we can say center, text decoration, we can say underline. Then you save. Then you go to your HTML file in the header section or in the header element. Here in the header element, you create a link. This is how your link may be or will appear. For Sublime Text, when you type in or punch in link, it will bring, then you press enter, it will bring for you, it will complete the statement. Then what you have is to only put here, you put here the name of the file. And for my case, the name of the file is expound.css. Then save. When you come here and run this, it will be styled up. Mr. Godfrey, Sublime Text works like any other text editor, only that Sublime Text was designed in a way that it has autocomplete of the different programming languages like CSS, PHP, any programming language that you use that requires a text editor. It helps you to autocomplete the statements, which is an advantage over Notepad. With Notepad, you have to type everything by yourself. You have to complete it by yourself. Then Meta, for Steven, Meta this meta is in HTML. It is basically information or properties about the HTML document, like content width equals device width. This helps you to, like, if you're viewing on different smartphones, the page scales according to the device you're using. That is why you have content equals width equals device width. And that meta tag is for, it holds information or properties of the HTML document that you've created. Are we now okay with what we've asked?
Lastly, someone asks that can they do CSS in
in a Notepad? Yes, they can do it. Let me do it here. Actually, let me do some Notepad here. Let me first create my HTML document. Like, hope you can see what so I didn't put the extension .html. Yeah. Let me save it in this. HTML. So this is my Zoom in HTML in its notepad. Then let me create the I'm saving it as zoom.css. And then the other side, I had the element h1. So I'm using h1 here to style it. Color. Green. Let me save this. So I will come in the head here and say link for the essence of time. Let me just copy this. And I will paste it here. Then here, I will just change the name to zoom.css that we have. Zoom.html and save. Yes. So if you come here and do this, it will change. Hope we have seen that we can also use Notepad. The only challenge we have is Notepad. You have to type everything. Is it okay now for that question? That can we do it in a...
Hassan, I think people who are using mobile phones for Zoom, they are requesting that you maximize to full capacity because
Okay.
They are having visibility problems.
All right, then. This is the Notepad CSS file that I created. Then this is the Notepad HTML file that I created. Then the link part is here. You create that link just as in a Sublime Text, then you call or you link to that file in that format. Okay. Okay, let me load the word processor. Then do as requested. So are we now seeing someone requested me to copy and paste this? This one is the HTML format that I typed in a notepad. Then this is the link that I typed in the notepad. Then this one I've pasted here is what I typed in the CSS file in the notepad. Hope it is okay now. May we now move on to another? Okay. Then next on my lesson plan, I had planned to have page design, where we are going to look at the background of the page, then the div element, how we can use the div element to design our page using CSS. Let's go back to our Zoom class.html file for continuity. This is it, the Zoom file. It is like this. I'm going to give it a background color. I'm going to give it a background color. Let me use the external file to here, since we want the entire page to have a given color that we would like to give it. So I'm going to use the whole body. Here you call the whole body. You use the whole body and the background color. We can give it let me give it this one, light cyan, then save. When you run this, you will have that background color. However, you can have a background color for each element. You can have a background color for each element. Here, at first I've demonstrated using when you want to give the entire page a background color. You use the body element. Since the body is where we put everything in the HTML. So you call the body element and your entire page will have that color that you will assign it. Then let's design this page such that it can have divisions where you can write different information according to your wish. Let us have a div tag here. Sorry. Let us have a div tag. Then in that div, we again have two divs. You can have as many as you wish according to the arrangement of how you want your page to be organized. For my case, I'm going to begin with the two divisions. Div, we can call this, let's say, column 1. Then this one, you can give it a text like column 2. We give the first div or our container, and we give it a class and maybe call it container. Just for clarity, you can call it container because it is housing our two divs. Then these two divs, we are giving them the same class name, like class. We can call them col or column. We also give the second one the same class name, column. Then let's go to our CSS file. We have container. Hope that's the spelling that I've used the other side. Yes, container. Width, we can give it a width which is 100%. 100%, meaning it will cover up the whole page in width. Then we can also give it a height of, let's say, 350 px. Even the height, you can use percentage, you can use px, you can use centimeters, you can use millimeters, any measurement. For my case, I'm using px pixels. Then for the width, I'm using percentage, just for easy understanding. Then we save this. Then let's go to column. Now here, For column, since we have two, since we have two and we want them to be of different widths, we are going to use inline. Let us first use inline here, like style, width, and let's give the second one 70%. Then the first one, style, width, we give it 30%. 30%. And maybe we give it a different background color. Gray. Then we also give this one background color. We can give it
Members, be patient. I think Hassan has gone off again.
Sorry, my internet has not been good for today, but what we were doing is here. And created the two divs, then our container. Then you go back to the Zoom class under column. Under column, and you say float left, float left. Then when you run, you give this height. You can call it 350 px. Then you save. When you run this, it should bring the two divisions here. Hope we have seen. Then under those divisions, under these divisions, you can have some text here, like H1, yes, H1, and say then you can also underline it. Or you can give it a horizontal line and save. So you will have your text like this. In this column, you can put your information. In this column, you can put different information. Then you can design your page. Remember, the HTML page is designed using different divisions. So you can have divisions in your page according how you want to design it. Have we got this idea of creating divisions in our page? Because as I was explaining, my internet disturbed. Class?
Yes, facilitator.
Have we got the idea of creating divisions in our pages?
I can see some yes in the chat.
Yeah, we are together.
I've left anyone behind. Could they type no in the chat? Then you.
Okay, then that is good. Hope those that had challenges, you know, it is better to have little, but when we have understood it better and we can apply it, than having much when we cannot apply the much we have, isn't it? So for today, I think due to time, I think we can call it. Yes, Godfrey?
I think we can just have the queries in the chat and then we call it.
Yeah, let's have the queries in the chat, then we call it a day.
Buinza in the chat asks, he thanks you, and then
the grid boxes.
Yeah, he has a question about grid boxes and flex boxes.
The grid boxes and the flexi boxes, the same.
Flex boxes.
Grid boxes. Flex boxes is where you can, like, if you want to create like a wall chart for, let's say, the cabinet, assuming you have a website for the school, then you want you have that part of page for administrators and you want them to have their photos, and there you can use these flex boxes. The grid boxes, I think they are not the same, though their application may seem to be the same. However, I will expand this. I will expand more about this tomorrow, inshallah. Then, Secretary Stephen, yeah, let's practice div. It's new to me. For div, just as I said, that when we are creating a website or a web page, we always put our work in divisions. Like you can have a division for the menu, you can have a division, let's say if it is a home page, a division for the images, things of that kind. Maybe for that, we can create another div here. We can create another div here. Then that div, we style it. Let's say we give it color. I'm giving it black. Yeah, let me give it black. Then height, I'm giving it 450 px. 450 px. Then with a div, now you can put here the content that you want. You divide the content of the page using the div tag. So if we run this, is it here? What is the importance of the class? Because you were using it in some part. For those who were here yesterday, we were looking at selectors. You can use class or ID. Like for this case, we have, for this case, I have very many paragraphs, P, okay? If you are using, if you take P, like here for styling, if you take P, it means that all these paragraphs will have the same properties that you are using for P. Now, when you assign a class or ID, they are called the selectors. A selector helps you to pick and style one element. So you give it a class, it has no specific name, you give it your own name that you can understand better. Then when you're styling, you call that class. Like here, we have paragraph, and I gave it para1. This paragraph, I gave it para. And if you look at our style here, when I was styling, para, it has different properties. Then para1 has different properties, and para has also different properties. And those are the properties here, like this is paragraph 1, and this is paragraph 2. You find that this one, para, has, we gave it red color, which is this one, red color. And font size, we gave it 20 px. Then para, the color is yellow and font size is this. But if you just put para p here, it means all of the paragraphs will be affected by the properties you set here. So we use classes and IDs to differentiate the elements when you're styling them. Is it okay now for the class and the ID? Okay. Any other queries before we leave? Maybe for assignment, I'm going to organize, then I will forward, or I will put it in one of our groups. And we shall pick it from there, then practice. Maybe tomorrow we give the queries where we found the challenges while doing our practice.
Thank you, Hassan. Okay.
Sir.
I'm seeing many thank yous coming in the chat.
All right. Thank you for attending. Let me say good night to everyone, and we link up tomorrow, God willing.
Good night too. Thank you for your presentation today.